Hello everybody, Zelfie here, and today I'm here with another Showdown replays. I got 5 brilliant replays to show today, and a new team as well. So, I wanted to build around a new mod, of course, or a new team. The only other team I had was the Incineroar team. So, I was trying to build something in Bisharp, but really Bisharp didn't strike out to me as super powerful in this tier. Like Cobalions around, you got Incineroar, I just didn't feel that strong. And in general, Bisharp hasn't really been my mod, and the only times I've actually used a Bisharp were pursuit sets, which it doesn't have this gen. So I didn't really find any vibes with Bisharp. I moved on to Necrozma because I'm like, oh, well, if Bisharp's popular, which it could be, it could not be, I was thinking new toy syndrome, I can run DD Necrozma with the Colbert Berry, potentially bait out Sucker Punches or other punishes from like Incineroar. Incineroar is very popular too, what I'm presuming. It feels like the monkey on anything. So I thought this would be an okay set to try out. It does forgo Lumberry, and I don't have another heal bell user on the team, so it is a bit unfortunate if he receives a Scald Burn. But the Cross was cool. It can set up really quickly, really fast. It only needs one turn to really get going. It can clean up weakened teams as well, so yeah, that's why I went. What I was also recommended to try out was a fighting type and Slowcade alongside Necrozma, and I could sort of see it. The fighting type and Slowcade help to break down like steel types, I guess. I'm not really too sure about the Slowcade, honestly, or as a support for Necrozma. It threw me off a little bit, but I just went with it because, well, they're probably better at the tier than me. I'm running a heavy duty boot set, which means I'm not going to be taking all this stealth rock damage or spikes damage every time I come in. It gives me a pretty safe switch in general. And I'm just running Scald, Future Sight, Slack Off Teleport. Teleport is really great in case if you don't know somehow, Teleport is a baton pass, except as negative priority. So it always moves last. So it gives you like initiative on the switch, which is super good, especially for a mod like Slowcade that doesn't that can pivot extremely well with Heavy Duty Boots and Regenerator. I'm also running a Pivot Cobalion. Cobalion's really nice because it helps to check T-Tar, it checks Bisharp, and check a couple of other things too, but primarily due to its typing. And it also acts as my stealth rocker. It's a good lead due to the Volt Switch, and I have Close Combat Ironhead. Sugarberry is nice against Crocodile, and potentially smudging a hit from what's called Flygon if I need to. It's just an overall solid mod. From there, I added Mamoswine. I wanted some type of ground type control. I wanted another Wallbreaker that could benefit off a Slowcade, and so I kind of went with Mamoswine here. It just kind of clicks Ice Crash and Earthquake and Ice Shard knockoff, and does a whole lot. It also opens up some more Switch and Securum, which is a very deadly mod, and a mod that I find myself losing or feeling pressured by a lot. And so it fulfills a niche as like a really good mid-game Wallbreaker. And I also have Obstagoon as well. I wanted another Psychic check, and well, it's weak to Dazzling Gleam, which is something that a lot of Psychics can have. Oh, I guess Focus Blast too. It does so much damage. Obstagoon is absolutely insane as a Wallbreaker in the tier. With Guts, you get all that immediately and just facade knock off everything. It's really crazy. And finally, I have an Noivern here, and just wanted some more speed control. I wanted another fire type check since I'm kind of lacking in those right now. And it's fine. It can Hurricane through subs, so no Keldeo can sit up on me. I also have Taunt and Roost and Flamethrower. You're going to see in the first replay that I actually don't have Hurricane. I am accidentally running Draco Meteor, Flamethrower, U-turn, Roost, which is a mistake, but I ended up fixing that by the next replay. Anyways, with that out of the way, let's just get started. So this is my first match against Hunter or whatever. I'm just gonna go ahead and lead Cobalion here. Against this team, I feel like it's a very safe lead. I don't really know what he's gonna lead. I guess like the worst lead for me was probably Incineroar, which is whatever. I'm just gonna Volt Switch out, which I go ahead and do. And the reason why I lead Cobalion is because it is my Stealth Rocker again. Stealth Rocks up early is nice. It helps to pressure Kyurem. It can pressure Incineroar if it has to take a knockoff. It's just in general nice. But because Incin is in, I have to swap out, and I go into Mamo. It's an okay swap into Incin because it has Thick Fat, which allows it to absorb fire type damage better. It goes for Drain Punch, which is something that I haven't really seen Incineroars do. I decided not to overthink it. Just click Earthquake there. I don't really care. I could have clicked Icicle Crash. I could have been baited. But I did. I don't know. I just went for Earthquake. I felt like, oh, well, if Squirmy comes in, I'm not really punished by that. He goes for sub on Keldeo, which throws me off a little bit. I'm just like so used to like non-sub Calm Mind sets, so I just didn't really expect it. But I mean, Slowke's fine to switch it anyways. I'm just gonna go ahead and teleport, and I go to Noivern, and this is where I realize, oh, I forgot to put on Hurricane. Oops, and I missed Draco Meteor too, which isn't helping. He goes for Skull, thankfully, which isn't a 2 KO with a +1. And I just go for another Draco. I get a crit too, and that sort of like saves me this match. He goes for Secret, which is fine. I don't think I played the Raquel, so I go for a Draco again. I don't feel like I lost anything from this. I also U-turn. It's the only time that I have U-turn on my Noivern that swapped, so I wouldn't have to just manually pivot the Cavalion here. Not like it matters, because I believe his lefties instead of that damage is made up. And I go for Stealth Rock. I'm like, okay, well, I feel like he might be threatened out to go into Skarmory or something else. So I'm just like, okay, whatever. And I also CC again because I'm like, there's no way he stays in, right? He's not going to take it out of him for free. But while I'm guessing he's probably Fizz stuff, he probably didn't care. He was just going to get it all back via Wish anyways. And so it didn't really matter to me. I didn't need Cavalion for too much of this match. So it got tossed away for quote-unquote nothing. But it did get Stealth Rock up. This gives me a free switch to Mambo, which also dies because I don't want to give Skarmory momentum. And finally, I come with Obstagoon. I go for Facade. I don't even know if non-guts boosted Facade would have killed here, but he does let me get the burn up. So this happens. I'm like, okay, well, Facade will do fine. And at this point, I switch a Roo because I'm like, oh, he's probably gonna like do something here, Roost. I was expecting like Stealth Rock or Spikes or something, but he just goes for that. And I'm like, I can't do too much, and he just goes for the Stealth Rock here. I'm like, okay, I can't really do much here. I don't know if CC will kill, so I swap out. But he had Body Press this entire time, and that threw me off so much. Like, if you want the Body Press once, you could have saved your hide. I go into Slowking because it felt obvious to me. I felt like I wasn't pressured by the Skarmory, and the Skarmory wasn't going to pressure me. You go for Scalds pretty safely, and because I'm invested into special attack, it's going to deal quite a bit. I also get a bird on Serena, which means it's going to be doing a lot less damage to me. And I'm like, oh, maybe I can set the crossbow. It goes for a rapid spin, which is fine, of course. And I'm going to go ahead and set for Dragonades here. On the Serena's bird, it goes into Skarmory, which is fine. I don't know what Skarmory could have gone for, and I didn't want to deal with it, so I'm like, oh, Photon God. The guys are probably kills here. It doesn't, and I get a crit, which saves my hide a little bit. But he only goes for Body Press, no Whirlwind, no nothing, which, once again, continues to throw me off a lot. And I go for Photon Geyser. I know it's probably not going to kill, so I'm just going to do my best to weaken it for Obstagoon, which comes in right here. No. Wait, hold on. Go back to last turn. Wait, hold on. I need to finish this turn first. I need to see Obstagoon in. That happens. I'm pretty sure the crossbow can out. Oh, it's a speed tie. Okay, well, it was risky anyways, because I don't know what set he was running. He could have been Scarf, although I suspect it was Specs. I go for Facade here and kill the Serena, which didn't really matter that much. He goes into Sylveon and protects. It doesn't really matter because I have lefties, so all that damage is just going to be made up anyways. And go ahead and Facade him down. Easy peasy, nothing too much here. Now, Keldeo comes out. I'm a bit scared because I'm like, oh, well, I don't know why he went Sylveon first. Maybe he just thought he'd live it somehow. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I have to swap out to Slowking here. And this could almost be a toss if what happened play it the way it did. He goes for a couple of Secret Swords. I'm like, okay, I'll just set Future Sight and I'll stall him out. And I'm like, oh, he's substitute. He's gonna try to substitute. So right there where it's slack off, I should have just Scalded to prevent the substitute from happening this turn, because now the Scald is gonna break it, unfortunately, and the sub is gonna eat the Future Sight. It's whatever. He goes into Cure, which is whatever. Once again, I just go for Scald. I'm like, he's almost dead anyways. I'll just do it. Go for that. Get the bird. It doesn't matter too much. I'm gonna slack off here. I'm like, oh, my Slowcane's dead. And I actually take a lot of time here to think about what I do. I'm like, okay, does Slowcane need to be healthy? And ultimately, I think what it came down to was I don't think it'll win me the match there. I wasn't too sure. It could have won me the match still, but I just go into Obstagoon and I live, and that's crazy. I'm like, no way. There's specs, which we do get revealed, and I live only because I saw the leftovers off the Skarmory, and I outspeed this, and I'm so thrown off because I'm like, oh, I lost anyways. Caldeo's gonna outspeed me, but it didn't. So it's like max something, probably max HP and defense. That I was just completely thrown off, and I got lucky because I stole the leftovers off the Skarmory, and the Skarmory didn't ever body press me. I'm like, I say oh in the chat because they update that I left. I'm like, oh, that's a bit crazy. Okay, replay 2. We have this too, and one thing that I've noticed is that this team doesn't have a lot of comeback mechanics. It doesn't have a revenge killer outside of Noivern. So a lot of speedy setup can kind of get past this team. I don't have a lot of priority check out there. Like, the biggest priority check is CB Ice Shard, which isn't the best. Anyways, I go for Stealth Mark here. I'm like, oh, it'll be helpful. It'll get chip damage on Pulti, it can break a Sash, it'll get chip damage on Noivern, possibly. And then I just full switch out because I have no business staying in. I go to Slowcane because it's gonna offer me the most offensive momentum, and I also go for Scald here, and it kills, which I'm a bit shocked. It must have been like defensive Skarm or something like that, because I don't think Skarm is supposed to die to 58 like that. He goes in Pulti here. I can't really teleport out, so I have to make an manual switch. I go into Obstagoon, and this is where his like opportunity to taunt kind of, or bites him in the ass, because if he set up a spike, I think he would have just won here. I don't know if this is a roll or a calc or something, but the Giga Drain doesn't kill me, and then I just knock it off. And so now he's lost 2 mods, and I still have my Obstagoon around, which is fine. He's just gonna revenge kill it here. Gives me the offensive momentum on the Jirachi. I just go to Koval. It threatens pretty much everything with the CC, and I believe that's why I go for it. Either that or Bull Switch. Okay, yeah, I just go for CC and weaken it. Like, oh well, if it's 72 boots, it's gonna take chip damage. If it's not, it's gonna take chip damage. I go into Slowcane and I teleport out because the switch is inevitable, and I go back into Koval, and at this point, he's just done. He's just like, I don't want to play this game anymore. Which is understandable. He lost his main sweeper, and he needs to rely a lot on track to come back, I guess. I don't know what set T-Tar this was. It could have been DD. I don't know. I think Hiko's still played it. It would have been rough for him, and I don't know if he had the skill level to do it. This is a lower rated opponent compared to usual. Almost about 100 points lower. So, you know, I can't really blame him. Match 3. I'm going against this guy's team. I actually lead Mamo this time because I think Mamo's a very, very scary lead against him. Although I don't really know what he'll lead against me. He leads Mimikyu, which is fine. I'm just going to go ahead and drop some damage on him. He gets a critical hit with Shadow Claw too. I like, that sucks. And knock off the life orb, which is, it helps. It means that might have not killed actually. But I go into Koval just to be safe. I throw Stealth Rocks because I can. He gets for Play Rough, and he gets an attack drop. And that sucks. Frankly, I go for Iron Head, and it barely misses. That's just a pain. But I do get the flinch, which is a bit of retribution. But it does mean he's gonna have the chance to throw out the Shadow Sneak afterwards. Whatever. Flygon comes in. I'm not too scared. I mean, it can set up on me or whatever. I don't really need the Cavalion anymore. It can help against Umbreon, but like I have 2 Wallbreakers right here. Like, and I have Taunt on that Noivern, so I'm just not afraid of it. I'm just gonna sack my Cavalion and just bring in some offensive tempo. Or, not offensive tempo, I'm gonna have to lose tempo, because I have to Ice Shard this to make sure it doesn't sweep me. It really doesn't start me. It's whatever. It's gonna probably Rapid Spin here, so I'll go into Slowcane. He does it, he goes for the Scald, which is also fine. Learn that Slight Form, probably Analytic. And Power Jumps, I Future Sight, and he goes into this. And I teleport out. This is a good chance to bring in Obstagoon and pull up my bird. I threaten this out. He just goes for Protect, which is absolutely fine again. And if he wants to... Oh, Future Sight comes out right now. Okay, I thought it came up the next turn. I'm just gonna go ahead and Facade because it deals the greatest amount of damage neutrally to the entire party. It's not late like Zelfie come in, possibly. I also just go for Facade again because that would kill. Stormy's in, it's whatever. I go into Slowcane and I just sort of rinse and repeat the process. My Slowcane just completely walls this out, I think. Especially without the analytic boost now. Future Sight, Teleport, the whole, you know, I got an ammo. I'm like, okay, well, I can just click Ice Shard here. And it doesn't kill. It does quite a bit of damage. But then Zelfie also recovers about half of it too. Takes a Future Sight and it goes down to 15. Which is pretty good. This is range for like Noivern, just come with Flamethrower. Perfectly fine. Now, I do want to say, I forgot to mention this, but when I revenge killed the Flygon with Ice Shard, I think that was a perfect chance for him to go to the Cloister and set up, because I think the signs were obvious that I was choice banned, so he could have taken that time to set up, and I don't think I had a great rebuttal to that. Like, I would have to rely on the crossbow not dying, and Slowcane to take it down, which is possible, or I would have to, like, Future Sight Slowcane, and then sacrifice a couple mobs. So, you know, it's whatever. I take the time to go into my crossbow here, just because, like, I don't need to risk Noivern, it's fine. I go for Dragonid's here, and I get Scald Burn. So, the crossbow is done, like, it's done a little bit in the first match, but I didn't do anything next to. Flamethrower kills, and just to make sure it is 70 to boot, so it's no sash, I go for Taunt. Just, like, it's the safest play. I go for Flamethrower as well, just to get the guaranteed damage, no missing Dracos, and then missing the game somehow. I don't think I could have lost if I Dracoed, but it's whatever. I go for CC and just win the game here. So I feel like I could have lost if he recognized that my Mamo was choice banned. I felt like I telegraphed it. I felt like that was telegraphed. He could use that knowledge to set up on me, but it's whatever. We're on the game 5, and I forget where we are. 1245. 1383. So this guy's a little bit lower than my skill level, at least coordinated points. And so, I don't know. I don't have much to say about it. I go for Iron Head here because I'm like, oh, damage on the Noivern would be nice. It allows it to die Future Sight and just overall be a bit more weakened. I go for Teleport here, I think, or Scald. I go for Teleport and just bring Cabal. It's like, okay, well, I could just click CC. Or no, I go for Stealth Rocks because I'm like, oh, Stealth Rocks is going to do a lot of damage to him. It's going to weaken the Wheezing, the Kyurem, and then potentially these two if they're not running boots. At this point, I don't really need to throw away my Cabal. I know this moveset was Flamethrower Draco, which means that it's going to be hard for him to set up. He actually blocks my Teleport here, which is whatever again. And I go ahead and lay out a Future Sight. I didn't mind taking the other hit Draco. It would have been fine. And I also double out into the crossbow here. I forget why I made this play. Yeah, I actually don't remember, but oh, I think I made the play in case if you wanted to go, I actually don't know why I made that double. It just sort of happened. Anyways, I go into Cavalion and he goes for Crunch. It's whatever. I take some damage, I get a justified boost. At least my next hit is gonna deal a lot of damage. And now I can go for CC here, knock this out. And yeah, now he has to bring in a Revenge Killer because I'm a +1 Cavalion. This pretty much reveals that Jirachi's Scarf, but then again, Jirachi is mostly Scarfed. It's the most preferable set to a lot of people. Gives me a free opportunity to bring in Slowcane. I go for Scald. I don't need to set Future Sights. I don't really feel the need to grab Tempo here, although he does make a good play with the Kyurem. I do get the Scald Bird, of course, whatever. I go into Mammo because it's pretty full and it can take about any hit. I believe I also go for Earthquake here. Or no, I go for Knockoff. I just Knockoff is fine against most things. Although I feel like this is a really bad play because why by clicking an Ice Move on Kyurem? I feel like Knockoff is better in so many more situations. I guess if I wanted to predict the Wheezing, it would have been a good play. But even then, just knocking off its recovery is nice enough. So I feel like the Ice Move wasn't the play there. He goes into T-Flame, and I just sort of stay in. I'm like, I think I can take a Flare Blitz if it's not CB. It's whatever. He loses Black Sludge, which is also good for me. I bring in Slowcane because it's free. He goes for Strange Seed, and I hate that move. It confuses you, and it's dumb. So I go for Future Sight. I'm like, okay, well I can set this up. He goes for Free Strike, kills me. It's like, oh, well, that sucks. I think now, yeah, I can just go Mana Swine. And now I click the Ice move because there's no reason for me not to. It beats out literally everything on his team. The Cheetar will take the Future Sight, so it's not time to that. And he goes into Weezing here. I'm like, why are you doing that? You're just letting me to KO it. So he just threw away a check by doing that. Now he goes into Team Flame. Now I decide to switch out. You go for Brave Bird, it's fine. I don't need Noivern anymore. It has literally nothing against the rest of his mods. I can test to see if I outspeed it, if he's not max speed, but he does. And I go to Necrozma here. I can DD for free. And just Earthquake him. I think I win the match at this point, if I recall. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I do, because Top Flame can't really do much against me. I outspeed it and everything. Photon Geyser, yeah, the Photon Geyser kills the Kyurem at this range, if I recall. Yeah, it does. So, this one, the Necrozma won that match. And I don't think I even brought out the Obstagoon once. Yeah, I did it. And on to the last replay. Now this one was for my, this is to get into 1400. If you look at his ranking, he's also trying to get into 1400. So I'm like, oh, this is scary. Not scared for me, or not scared in the sense oh, I'll lose everything here. It's scary as in oh, well, we're both kind of playing to reach this new benchmark. Which is a good benchmark, by the way. It's only 100 points underneath top 500. So yeah, here I think I lead Mambo? What did I say it's Mambo? Oh no, it's Kamali. Okay, so I'm just okay, well, I can Volt Switch on most mods, Stealth Rock on some. I'm probably not clicking Stealth Rock unless they leave Vaporeon, and I'll just take the risk of being Scald Bird. But I can punish most mods here. I felt like it was a comfortable lead. He goes for Psyshock, Julian has 48, good for me. We'll switch out. I bring in the Mambo. Sorry about that. What I was trying to say is that I felt like I should have gone Noivern and tried to threaten something else, but it's whatever. I could have threatened U-turn or something. Try to make it obvious that I could have killed him. But anyways, I just dropped an Ice Cold Crash here. It does 50 to Weezing. This might be a roll. I'm not too sure on the actual damage itself, but I wasn't going to risk it. I'm just going to go into Obstagoon. I figured he'd go for a Will-O-Wisp, which I thought was free. He stays in PZ. I think it's Scarf PZ because Specs would have definitely killed me. Facade kills, and now he brings in Tarak. I'm like, okay, whatever, I'll bring in Cavalion. He gets Rock Blast here. I'm like, why? What did CC just do the job? And I guess wanted to really kill Noivern there, but whatever. I get to keep my thing alive. Traded Specs for the boots. Not gonna really matter here. But I go for Future Sight just to charge that up. I thought it'd be funny with the Specs Future Sight. I apologize for that. I really hate my dryer. It likes to go off like that. Anyways, what I was trying to say is, I can set up on most things here. I feel like Necrozma is bulky to take any attack from the S-Mod, especially since it wasn't Specs anymore. And I can just do safely. We go for a Photon Geyser here, and he hits me with Beyond. I'm like, okay, well, it did its job. I can Earthquake now safely, because it's gonna kill the Vaporeon. He's probably not going Weezing here. I went for the Earthquake in case this came out, by the way. At this point, I'm like, oh, I could probably take a Crunch, and goes for T-Bolt. I'm like, okay, that's fine. He paralyzes me, which sucks, but I think I still outspeed. I go for Close Combat here because I don't want to risk the Cheetar DDing on me. He real Thunderbolt, which tells me he's probably not DD, but I still did it anyways. Yeah. And then this happens. I just Iron Head it because I'm faster. He goes for Willis and it misses. He dies his hand, and now he's just really behind. Oh, also he is questioning why I went for CC instead of Iron Head. Iron Head probably doesn't kill there. I don't know, because that ball is just super bulky in general. That's gonna go ahead and revenge kill me. I'm just gonna burn slow game because I can. Throw a Scald, no punish. I'm also Specs, so that does quite a bit. But even as a Specs, max invest in slow game. That's not doing a lot. I just stacked the Necrozma here. It's not gonna be useful anymore. It's asleep. Memo, and he's gonna go for Surge, which doesn't kill, thankfully. No crit. And I'm pretty sure he was locked in as well. And I'm just gonna win the game with Memo here. After that, we got this and I reached 1400. I'm gonna go for 1500 soonish, and that's above top 500. But yeah, that was fun. The team is cool. I like having the I really like teleport slow keen and these bulky offensive teams. Like you got both these wall breakers right here that like carried for half their games. Like Obstagoon obviously carried for the first 2 games, and then Mammoth Swine helped a lot in the other 2 games. I didn't really get to showcase the crossbow that much. It was fun, but most of the time these 2 mods just like won the game by themselves. Noivern didn't really do too much for me either. The Caballia was also pivotal too, so like, it's a good team, I think. I think just because I didn't showcase Noivern and the crossbow really pulling their weight as much, doesn't mean it's bad. It just means that the opportunities that were shown here didn't really capitalize on them well. I'll leave the team in the description, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed yourselves. I'll see you guys later.